Hello and welcome back. Today I'm giving you a hot take about La Roche-Posay's Melasyl. It is an anti-hyperpigmentation ingredient. It's novel. It's a proprietary ingredient to L'Oreal Group, who owns La Roche-Posay. But the big buzz around it is, for the first time in a long time, it is an anti-hyperpigmentation ingredient that isn't a tyrosinase inhibitor. Now, for any of you who have followed my journey or who have your own hyperpigmentation journey, you know that tyrosinase inhibitors are our primary class of ingredients to fight pigmentation. While I understand the bulk of melanogenesis and the pathologies behind it, we aren't going to go way deep into the science because I don't fully understand where this molecule fits in. But per one of the published studies about it, I'm going to read directly from it, this molecule binds to certain melanin precursors, preventing their integration into growing melanin and leading to the inhibition of eumelanin, which is good melanin. That's like what your natural skin color is, not hyperpigmentation, not the redness, not yellow, just the nice even melanin, and pheomelanin synthesis without compromising the integrity of melanocytes. And melanocytes are the little fingery guys at the bottom of our skin layer that make melanin pigment. So like with any pathology, there are usually a lot of things happening. And so anywhere you can interrupt by blocking an enzyme or binding up to something so that it can't do its job, that's how you interrupt the pathology ultimately. And that's also why you count on so many different ingredients for hyperpigmentation reduction or prevention, because there's so many different ways to trigger hyperpigmentation, and there's so many different enzymes and pathways involved that you can interrupt different pieces of it, but rarely can you block all of it altogether. Otherwise, you would truly bleach the skin to a pigmentless state, which is rarely what you want to do. So the more that we can interrupt these little pieces, these little steps along the way, it will overall reduce the amount of hyperpigmentation opportunities. So why are we talking about it today? And why am I doing a short video? This is not a full review of this product, but this is the one I've been using. It is Mela B3 Serum, Dark Spot Corrector, Visibly Unifying and Clarifying by La Roche-Posay. It is an interesting, like, light pink. As with some of their serums, many of their serums, is heavily heavily fragranced. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad scent, but it is pretty robust, and it would just be nicer, especially La Roche-Posay. I wish that it was just a fragrance-free brand, because they do so many wonderful products for sensitive skin, that would just be chef's kiss. So that's how it leaves the skin. It has a hearty dose of niacinamide in it, but like I said, we're going to specifically talk about this product, other than when I was watching the video to edit about Skin Vive that I did, I was barefaced in front of a camera for the first time in a while. Usually I wear a couple layers of transparent sunscreen and then put on a very thin layer of one of two tinted sunscreens. One is Skin Better Science Tone Smart. Love it. SPF 75, it's great. That one's a little more full coverage, and then the lighter coverage that I use on the daily is just a really thin layer of Elastin Hydra Tint. It's only an SPF 36, but it gives me that little bit of visible light protection from the iron oxides in that sunscreen. So I like the way that it gives me a little bit of glow. I did not realize how much it's been covering my pigmentation, because I've kept mostly my basic routine, my testing routine, except I added this in as my primary anti-pigment option. And ooh, buddy, this has gotten out of control. I will show some footage that you can see. That's gnarly. That is far from where I want to be. And I guess I just lost track of it because in pictures and things, I have my tinted sunscreen on, and that camouflages most of it. I can still tell that it's there, but I didn't realize how bad, and realized that this is what I've been relying on for about a month, maybe a little more than a month, for my pigmentation protection, and it has not been protecting to the level that I would have expected. And before I get too angry about it, I will just say that it may be a great add-on, but as we see with almost all anti-hyperpigmentation ingredients, you don't want to rely on just one. Hydroquinone is about the only exception, and we'll talk about that one day, but you want a lot of different ingredients that are working together to help you with pigmentation, because just relying on one is rarely strong enough, because your body's urge to make pigment to protect you from the sun, because that's what it's trying to do. It's trying to protect you from damage by pigmenting the skin. It's strong. Your body wants to protect you, which means that by fighting hyperpigmentation, even though your body is misguided in this, you're fighting your body's natural processes to protect you. It sounds really extreme for just hyperpigmentation and sun damage, but that's how your body views it, is outside attacker. So that's why you need a lot of things to interrupt these processes. And it reminds me that I shouldn't be relying on just one ingredient. And although the studies sound pretty good, like this should be able to go up against hydroquinone or resorcinol, which is another really great single ingredient option. It isn't playing out that way for me. Now, I've gotten a lot of more sun than I usually do in the past month. I went to Vegas and got more sun than expected, but I was also using a lot of sunscreens. That's another story we should talk about. Unintentional exposure from just not paying attention to what I was putting on. So anyways, my hot take is this is not as strong as they're selling it to be. It may be a great low irritation ingredient to add in, and there may be a special place for it. I watched Dr. Dre's video on it, and it sounds like there may be some, like more of a while you're in the sun, while you're in the heat, protective element to it than there is for other things that are kind of working overnight to undo that pathogenesis that makes the melanin stick really bad. But for me here now, seeing that video, I can tell you for sure, this is not doing the job of my other serums, and I will be adding those right back in. I already did last night because, ooh buddy, that's going to take some work to get it undone. And so now you get to see my recovery journey and see that I'm just like anybody else who's dealing with hyperpigmentation. You're going to slip every now and then and have to undo some damage. So here we go. Hope you'll follow me on this journey if you have melasma or if you're dealing with hyperpigmentation, because you can see how I undo my mistakes. Until next time, thanks for watching and be well.